Hi guys, my name is Kendall Miller and I'm a current freshman here at UT. So when you guys are watching this, I'll be a sophomore. And today I'm just going to talk through some questions about freshman year and being a college student with you guys. So the first question is, how is high school different from college and how are your responsibilities different? So I think the biggest difference is the amount that you're actually in class. So in high school, I was in class for about 35 hours a week. And now currently this semester I'm taking 14 hours and next semester I'm taking 15. So clearly you have a lot less actual school time, but you have a ton of things to do outside of class too. So it's not just all free time. And then how your responsibilities are different. I think the main thing is that you have to be self-motivated and have to deal with the freedom of college well. You can't go crazy, you can't go party every night. You have to set yourself a schedule, stick to it, and motivate yourself because there's no one like your parents here telling you what to do, telling you you need to get this done, this done, this done. And also just like little things like you got to do your own laundry, you have to do your own dishes. Nobody's there to do that kind of stuff for you. So you really have to learn how to handle things yourself and be more independent. So the second question is, how did you figure out how to manage time? So time management, clearly from that last question, is a really big thing because you have so much more free time. And I actually like to call it unscheduled time instead of free time because while you don't necessarily have a schedule within that time of classes you need to go to, it's not just free time. So what I do personally is I use Google Calendar. So on Google Calendar, I have tasks, reminders, and events. So for tasks, I put down all the things I need to get done that day. For reminders, it's things like request a ticket to this football game, stuff like that, like little things that I need to remind myself to do. And then for events, I put my classes in there, like campus orgs I'm in, all sorts of stuff like that. But what I find super helpful is instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to study for this block of time, I will say, okay, I'm studying for EF151 during this specific block, and I'm going to do my lab report during this block of time. So that instead of just having a really long to-do list, you have time set aside for each of those things so that you're not just overwhelmed by everything. And making sure that you do that in advance is really helpful because it's very easy to just get off topic and want to hang out with your friends all the time, which that's great, but you just can't do it all the time. So I think definitely get a way to schedule out that time. And I love Google Calendar. So question number 3 is learning and studying really different in college? So when I was in high school, I went to a pretty hardcore high school. And so I was like, I'm going to be fine in college. It's going to be exactly the same. And spoiler alert, it's harder. Just the fact that you have huge classes, you have much more work that you have to get done, and you have much less time in class to actually work on it and ask your teacher. Now, let you know, you can go to your teacher for office hours and things like that are super helpful, but you definitely have to be able to work harder and know that you're going to be working a lot more time outside of class. So you need to block out a lot of time to study outside of class and really be self-motivated. So for me personally, I never really had to study for my math classes, and now I study close to 10 hours every week for one math class. So not to scare you, but it definitely is more intense and you need to be prepared for that. So question number 4 is, how did I pick which activities and student orgs I wanted to get involved in? So this is a really good question because there's so many things, especially here at UT, that you can get involved in. So personally, one thing I knew I wanted to get involved in was a campus ministry. So before I came to UT, I researched all of them and I followed them on Instagram, and then I visited several of them during Welcome Week. Before your classes get ramped up, I would definitely say that is a great time to check out these things. So I visited several campus ministries before classes even started, figured one that I liked, and then started going to that. And I got to meet a lot of different people through that. That's an awesome way to make friends. And then I got involved in WISE, which is Women in Industrial and Systems Engineering. And so I went to one of their meetings and it was really cool. So I just kind of did things that I was interested in. And that's a really great way to meet people who have similar interests, future friends, everything like that. And then question number 5 is academic help. So where do I go for academic help? So like I said, college is really hard, so you're probably going to need to ask for help at some point. Even if you've never done that before in high school, you really probably should at some point in college. So if you guys are in engineering, in EF151, there's a help room staffed every single day, which is absolutely awesome. I've gone there a ton. That's a great place for academic help. Another great place, your teacher's office hours, they're there to help you. You're paying them to be here with your tuition for them to help you. So don't be shy about going to those. Shoot them an email or just show up. They're great resources. Also, students, you know, if you have friends who have been through a class, maybe ask them questions about it. Just ask them, hey, how did this class go? And also your academic advisor, like they're here to help you as well. So those are all great resources. There's also, I think, student disability services. If you have a disability, they're awesome. They will hook you up with someone who writes notes so you can get more notes. And there's also the tutoring center, I believe. I don't know the exact name of it, but you can get paired up with a tutor and it's already paid for in your tuition. So that's pretty cool too. So I hope these questions have helped you guys to know a little bit more about like freshman year and how to handle it. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for listening.